It is hard for us teachers to do our job when we're constantly battling. Hold on a second. My bad. That was my cell phone. As I was saying, it's hard for us teachers to do our job when we're constantly battling cell phones. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I handle cell phones as well as other electronics in my class. But first, let's play that intro so we can get to the video. The first thing we need to understand is that cell phones, earbuds, Game Boys are all part of things that can distract students from our teaching. So how we deal with those is going to be the same way in which we deal with other disruptive behaviors in the class. So that all boils down to we need to have a set classroom management system so we have a way of dealing with all these issues. For me, my classroom management strategy involves a clipboard and a seating chart. Now you want to see how I use this as my classroom management. I'll include a link down below so that way you can go ahead and take a look at it in the description to see exactly how I use the clipboard. But let me go ahead and just show you what that little seating chart looks like to give you a basic understanding. So here we go for it. So what I do is if a student uses their cell phone or earbuds or something else, I'll make a mark of it underneath their name in one of the boxes. So if you just take a look at any box, and let's say that student there had a cell phone or earbuds, I would just give them a warning and I'd put a mark right down below. Maybe like for me, I use a C or E for electronics, just so I can make a note of it. But tracking is just part of the overall process. Also, at the beginning of the year, I let students know my expectation and my rules. So you'll normally hear me say something like this at the beginning of the year. Just to make sure we're clear, if I hear your cell phone, if I see your cell phone, I gotta take it. So if you are, let's say you're just checking the time, I gotta take it, okay? If it's just on your desk, I gotta take it. If you're walking by me and it falls in your pocket, I gotta take it. So just make sure we're on the same plan here, that if I hear or see your cell phone, I need to take it. Any questions? Since I give the students this spiel at the beginning of the year, honestly, they're usually pretty dormant. I mean, they kind of come in, they're pretty quiet, they're not really responsive, but nonetheless, I kind of put it out there to kind of set the bar where I want it to be at. And I usually don't get any kind of pushback on it whatsoever. But I don't stop there. I continue to go one step and in my explanation of my cell phone electronic policy in this class. Now I know this might be something new for you, so here's what we'll do. First time, just until we break the habit, because we're just trying to get into a new habit here, okay? So if I see your cell phone out, first time I'm just gonna give you a warning. No problem, just a warning, all right? Just to kind of remind you of the rules. If I see it a second time or I hear it the second time, you're going to have to stay after class for a little bit just to talk with me. We'll have a quick conversation and remind you of the rules and the expectations. But if it happens a third time, yeah, then we have no choice. We got to take it and send it to the office. Now, depending upon the support you have for your administration, you might do one or two things. Or actually, I had times when I didn't have the support, and I have times when I do have support from administration. So depending upon how supportive they are, will determine on what you do next. So once a student hits that third offense, we'll call it, I will basically take their cell phone and I will put it in an envelope, and I will send the envelope up to the office, and from there the office will take care of it. Usually the first time what they'll do is they'll kind of give the cell phone back to the student and kind of give them a warning. Second time they'll probably call home and issue detention, and then of course it escalates from there. So since I do have the support of my administration, that would be my next step once a student hits that third time offense in my class. And in case you want to know what that envelope looks like that I sent to the office, let me kind of show you what it looks like. Here it is right here. Let me show you. And so you can see it basically says on there, sent to, so I'd write down who I sent it to, the date, confiscated, that'd be my name and the item, and this right down where I put down phone, earbuds, or something else. And I also want to make a mark, or if there's any kind of damage, kind of put it on there as well, so that way I don't get responsible for it. And the key is I'm got to be the one taking this to the office. Definitely don't want to give this to another student to take to the office. So I'll fill this out, and then usually during my nutrition, lunch, or right after school, I'll take this to the office, and then the office deals with it from there. Now, if you don't have the support from your administration, you still want to follow the same things, maybe the 3 warnings, but instead of actually taking the phone, what I would do, and this is what I've done in the past when I did not have support administration, is I would just tell the student, all right, this is the third time, I got to issue a detention. Then I would go ahead and call home on that. Now you're probably saying to yourself, oh, that sounds all great, but what happens if a student doesn't want to give you their phone, or if a student kind of gives you some pushback? Well, let me do this. Let me do a couple role-playing scenarios here for you, just so you see how I would handle that situation in my class. This first example is just something you'll see probably most often in my class. It's kind of a real low-level thing where I just give a student a warning about electronic device. Hey, Chris, headphones. All right, thank you. Remember this, the first one's just a warning, but after that, you have to have a conversation, okay? That was short and sweet. That's how I like to deal with these interactions in my class as discipline. But you know, sometimes it's a little bit more. Let's say it's a student's second time with this offense. Here's what I would do. Hey, Chris, cell phone, remember? All right, remember, no cell phones in class. This is the second time, all right? So just make sure you see me after class for a little bit. Thank you. Sometimes I get a little more resistance with this one just because I put their name on the board under the detention mark. But to be honest with you, what I normally do is sometimes I don't even hold them for detention. And the detention, honestly, is maybe like a minute or two just so I can make a quick notation, a quick conversation. And a lot of times I actually will just see the student maybe about 1 or 2 minutes before class is over and have a real quick talk with them. Just to let them know that, hey, this is second offense, the third time is going to be a detention, or third time I'm going to take their phone. So it's a real quick conversation just to let them know I am keeping track of how they're using their cell phone or electronic device in my class. So far, those have been some pretty easy cases, but what happened if a student decides to escalate it? Well, in this example here, let me show you how I would handle it. Now, the first thing is, if this is a student's third offense, I know I'm going to take their phone, I understand I might get a little bit more resistance. And so instead of addressing it in front of the entire class, I'll actually kind of go up to the student quietly to address the issue. And this is what it would look like. Hey, Chris, I need you to put away your cell phone, man. This is the third time I'm just talking to you, okay?
I was just checking the time.
I'm sure you were, Chris. I'm sure, but you know, I got to be fair. I got to have the same policy for everybody, so I just need you to put away. Can you do that for me?
Stupid. I was just checking the time.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Chris. I'm going to go back to my desk, okay? Just think about it for a second and just go and put it on my desk and we're all good, okay? Can you do that for me? Just think about it, okay? All right, thank you. If a student puts on the desk, man, it is done, it's over, we're good, we're moving on. But usually, from my experience, about 90% of the time, they're still holding out. So I kind of just have to take another step to encourage them to put it on my desk. Hey, Chris, I noticed you didn't put your cell phone on my desk. So here's the thing, Chris, is that at this point in time, if you put it on my desk, that's awesome. I just send it to the office, and then they'll, probably get back to the school or something else. But if you don't, then it's defiance, and it's be referral on something else. Is that something you can do? Can you put it on my desk for me?
I'm gonna get in trouble by my parents.
I got you. But those are two choices: either put it on my desk, or get us in the office with a referral. Okay. So once again, I want to just take care of a few things. You got a minute or so? Put it on my desk. If not, then I can write the referral for you. Okay.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
I know. We'll just give you about 1 minute. Put it on my desk. Thank you. I would say 9 out of 10 times that works. They put the cell phone on the desk. But if it doesn't, then I do have to write the student a referral. And so what I'll do is I'll just quietly write the referral, and I'll quietly go up to them and say, all right, hey, we talked about the consequences. I saw you didn't put the phone up there, so I need you to go to the office. I already let them know you're coming, so just go ahead and just make your way up there, and they're expecting you. And if I usually handle it that way, and that's a secret, you gotta handle it real calm, and they'll normally go up there 9 out of 10 times. They'll go up there with no problem at all, and then we're all set. So that is how I handle cell phones in my class. However, let me give you a little bonus strategy. Now, I don't use this strategy just because I worry about the liability of it, but I have seen other teachers use this. Usually at the high school, they'll use this strategy. And what they'll do is they'll go ahead and put a shoe organizer that hangs on the door, right? They'll put a shoe organizer on the wall. And then what will happen when students come in, they will put their cell phones in that shoe organizer. So let's say a student assigned seat number 2, and they'll put their cell phone in pocket number 2, and then what the teacher will do is they'll go ahead and take attendance based upon the cell phones in the shoe organizer. And if a student says they don't have a cell phone, then let's put the index card in that place to replace it. So that is a way I've seen high school teachers go ahead and collect cell phones at the beginning of class, as well as quickly take attendance. Now, once again, I never use this strategy just because I didn't really have a need for it. but also because I was always worried about the liability of what happens if the student puts a cell phone there and I know the student grabs it on the way out. So I've always kind of held back from doing that, but that is another option you can do. If you would like to watch more videos about tips and tricks of the trade, go ahead and just click on one of the video links above here. And remember, stay zesty.